Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
People come up to me all the time and say, you saved my life, you saved my kids' lives. And it's true, actually. Just this information is life-saving. And so I want to recommend that to be on the life-saving team, share this information, share this show, and tell people about it.
Jeffrey Smith's Genetic Roulette, the documented health risks of genetically engineered foods, part 3 of 3. Continue watching to find out more.
Wise viewers, hello and welcome. I am Capono. The nature-loving Lao people send our warmest regards. We are delighted to have you join us for part 3 of our 3-part series entitled Jeffrey Smith's Genetic Roulette, the documented health risks of genetically engineered foods. Jeffrey Smith is a leading spokesperson on the health dangers of genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, and has been working on the issue for 22 years in 45 countries. He is the author of the best-selling book Seeds of Deception, exposing industry and government lies about the safety of the genetically engineered foods you are eating. He is also an award-winning filmmaker whose productions include the feature-length documentaries Genetic Roulette and Secret Ingredients. Today, we are grateful to continue our interview with Jeffrey Smith as he expounds on the knowledge presented in his second book, Genetic Roulette, the documented health risks of genetically engineered foods. He now explains how the introduction of genetically engineered cotton caused many problems in India.
India has genetically engineered cotton, and it was introduced with all this fanfare and an unprecedented marketing effort by Monsanto that bought a Indian cottonseed company. But the GMO cotton turned out to be a disaster in many areas. In areas where you had irrigation, which was rare, and where the technology didn't fail, some people did okay. But where it was rain-fed, and there was other problems, it was a disaster. You'd have problems just germinating. You'd have root rot or leaf curl, or it was designed as a Bt cotton, so it would kill the cotton weevil, but then mealybugs would come in. And so that wiped out people's profits. And so that changed the entire ecosystem. And when I've been to India, I helped verify what we've heard, that the Bt cotton causes allergic reactions. Where it's being cleaned, some people have to take antihistamines every day. Some people get rashes by leaning against it, by picking it. Doctors did a report. They examined 23 people who had been working in the fields and described the symptoms. In my second book, Genetic Roulette, I wrote down those symptoms, and I wrote down the symptoms that people reported when the Bt bacteria was sprayed by plane for gypsy moth infestation in the Pacific Northwest United States, where about 500 people got allergic or flu-like symptoms. Some had to go to the hospital. And I looked down, and the symptoms were virtually the same. Touching the Bt cotton, or that's produced in the cotton, or being sprayed by plane. I asked the people in this village, I said, how many of you noticed itching? Because itching was the #1 symptom of working in a Bt cotton field. All these hands went up.
So how can we, as a general public, bring awareness to this subject? How can we foster more wholesome practices for the health of the environment and society?
We want to change our own situation, and we want to tell others. So we have a nonprofit to help people with all of those things. The Institute for Responsible Technology. I recommend people to subscribe. And there you can learn a lot about it. We have mailings that we do, and also Facebook posts at our Facebook page. And then in terms of avoiding GMOs, we have non-GMOshoppingguide.com, which tells you which products have been verified by the Non-GMO Project, but the #1 recommendation is to buy organic. We have a new film. I did a film with Amy Hart, and it's called Secret Ingredients, about families that heal from serious conditions when they switch to organic food.
Things like cancer don't just happen. They happen for a reason.
So many diseases and disorders in the United States have increased since the introduction of GMOs and Roundup in the food supply in the 1990s.
I've removed genetically modified food and had kids eat all organic food. No pesticides, no GMOs. And the changes I've seen are remarkable.
I am 100% confident that the removal of genetically modified foods, glyphosate, and pesticides was the fundamental, the foundation for why we all recovered.
We'll take a few moments for some uplifting messages and we'll return shortly here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our interview with Jeffrey Smith as he discusses the information found in his eye-opening book, Genetic Roulette, the documented health risks of genetically engineered foods. Jeffrey Smith emphasizes the need to respect and treasure nature, which perfectly and wholesomely sustains life.
I don't trust the fact that they want to genetically engineer livestock so that it genetically engineers out the mothering instinct. So you can separate a mother from its child and it won't feel any sadness. So instead of organizing our agriculture industry around nature, they're trying to organize nature around the agricultural industry. And they want to genetically engineer livestock and insects and fish and trees and algae and bacteria and fungus. They want to replace nature. Do we pass on to all future generations a completely manufactured gene pool? Once you release these GMOs into the environment, you cannot recall them. You can't recall the salmon from the ocean, the mosquitoes from an environment. You cannot recall the corn pollen that has transferred from a GM field to a non-GM field, then into the offspring, etc., etc. The only thing that lasts longer than the self-propagating genetic pollution is extinction.
The risks of GMOs may have devastating implications. The good news is that we can advocate for safer, more nature-abiding agriculture simply by what we eat.
So we urge people to go organic. Organic is number one, non-GMO is number two. In fact, try and buy 100% and eat 100% organic whenever you can. And if you're new to this, I strongly recommend you do a food diary with also your symptoms 1 to 10, your energy level 1 to 10, and your mood, whether you're depressed or anxious. Now, any one of the problems we just mentioned could be related to the problems of GMOs. We can drill down on each of these diseases to see what a plausible causative pathway could be. But for you and me, it's really, what are we going to buy at the supermarket? What are we going to grow ourselves? What are we going to buy at the farmer's market? And that's organic. So that's the key, is to buy organic. And then you'll probably be contacting me with your testimonials. I've heard more testimonials than anyone in the world of people who switch to organic and non-GMO and get better. People come up to me all the time and say, you saved my life, you saved my kids' lives. And it's true, actually. Just this information is life-saving. And so I want to recommend that to be on the life-saving team, share this information, share this show, and tell people about it. And if you do have a food diary and a health diary and you notice changes, post your changes. Share it with the world. People need to hear.
To conclude our show, Jeffrey Smith shares some last words.
We know that they want to genetically engineer the food supply, the forest, the mountaintops. They want to genetically engineer everything. They want to genetically engineer algae, which can blow into the ocean and end up changing the entire ecosystem. Their plans will affect everyone who eats, all living beings, and all future generations. And it could be an unprecedented disaster, a catastrophe. We hear about these things and We can feel anger. We can feel sadness. People can choose how they want to react to it. I want to recommend that you digest that reaction and turn it into empowerment and action. Turn from a victim to a victor. It's our choice. We can determine what we want to feed in our bodies, and we can do more than that. We can contribute financially, we can contribute with time, we can contribute with energy, with enthusiasm, with sharing the information with others. So this is an appeal for people to get involved in a way that's not a burden, in a way that is an opportunity, an honor to serve, that gives the leverage, the return on investment is so much bigger than you can think of in any other way. And so I look forward to people watching this in Supreme Master TV to hear from you and to step up and to work with you and others around the world, because it's this generation that is given this opportunity and responsibility to protect life for future generations. Thank you for this opportunity, and safe eating.
Our deep thanks to Jeffrey Smith and everyone in the Institute for Responsible Technology. With admiration for your sincere respect of nature and all living beings, we wish you continued health and success in your caring endeavors to ensure that our food is safe. For more information on Jeffrey Smith and his work, please visit responsibletechnology.org. It's been a pleasure to have you loving viewers with us today. Coming up next is the unique and amazing Galapagos marine iguanas, right after Noteworthy News, here on Supreme Master Television. May all of Earth's inhabitants flourish in peace, well-being, and abundance.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/HL.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/HL.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule e suprememastertv.com/HL.
Nossos programas oferecem vários idiomas. Acesse suprememastertv.com/schedule e suprememastertv.com/HL.
हमारे कार्यक्रम पेश किए जाते हैं कई भाषाओं में। कृपया देखें suprememastertv.com/schedule और suprememastertv.com/HL。
我们的节目提供多种语言，请看 suprememastertv.com/schedule 和 suprememastertv.com/HL。
Rancangan kami menawalkan banyak bahasa. Sila kunjungi suprememastertv.com/kehadapan-schedule dan suprememastertv.com/kehadapan-HL.
برامجنا متوفرة بالعديد من اللغات. يرجى زيارة suprememastertv.com/schedule و suprememastertv.com/HL.
Наши программы предлагают много языков. Пожалуйста, посмотрите suprememastertv.com/schedule и suprememastertv.com/HL.
Chương trình của chúng tôi cung ứng nhiều ngôn ngữ. Xin xem suprememastertv.com/schedule và suprememastertv.com/HL.